My brother was diagnosed with Parkinson's probably 7.5 years ago. One time when he was coming into my mother's through the garage, for some reason he missed a step and he ended up on his back, flat on his back.
At first, it was a struggle just getting a diagnosis.
He was going to the VA and they were saying that you're just old, there's nothing wrong with you, you don't have any issues that your family says you do, you are just getting old. And we made him stay here and go to the doctor and find out if it was Parkinson's or not. And of course, it ended up being true that he was being diagnosed with Parkinson's.
After a while, Phyllis began to see worrying symptoms herself.
I was working in the ER, mostly nights, and I noticed that my foot was either dragging or I would be tripping over it. And I thought, what the heck is going on?
On a grocery run for her brother, things took a turn for the worse.
I thought I cleared the curb, and I didn't. And my foot went right into the curb, and I fell flat on my face. And I know that I picked up my foot, and I don't know why I didn't. I said, something's definitely wrong.
Faced with uncertainty, Phyllis sought help.
So I was able to get right in with my internal medicine. He says, I'm pretty sure you have Parkinson's. So I was petrified I was going to start going as bad as my brother, as quickly as my brother did.
First her brother, then her, and then she was faced with the unthinkable.
I ended up losing my job. I just said, okay, I like to cook, I like to bake, I'm just going to go home and start doing the things that I want to do. I was able to walk all the time, I love to walk. And taking medication is the most important thing that you can do for this disease. Your brain has to have that assistance in order to keep you stable. You have to do this, you have to exercise, you have to sleep, and you have to take your medication, because if you don't, it's going to beat you.
Thanks to telemedicine, Phyllis easily accessed expert care.
My neurologist ended up moving out of town. So I didn't have a neurologist, and I was looking for someone, and I got a call from Strong Memorial. They introduced me to Dr. Tiroli, and I had a visit with him the next week, virtually, and it went really well. He had me walk, and he had me swinging my arms, from the computer down the hall, and it went really well. It was like everything that I was used to seeing done in the office, but I was doing it at my home, and I didn't have to go out. It was really wonderful.
Dr. Crowley recommended exercise.
My daily activities include spinning, and I always went to an exercise class of some sort. If I can't go outside, I'll go downstairs on the treadmill. I'll do whatever. I'm very, very fortunate where I live. We're right on the shores of Owasco Lake. We have walking paths over at the park. It's inspiring because you're not on the street. You're not getting the carbon dioxide from the cars going by, and it's quiet and it's serene.
For Phyllis, the first step to ending Parkinson's is breaking her silence.
I do this because I try to help others. If they hear me, maybe they'll know, well, wait a minute, I was tripping over my feet the other day. How often do you trip? Maybe you should be paying attention to that. If you feel that something's wrong with yourself, get it checked, because you're wasting time, you're wasting ability. Once you lose it, you don't get it back.
And any way that Phyllis can help, she does.
If you can do a study, if you can reach out to someone that's going through something like this and compare notes and let them know what they have coming or how they can stop something, you have to do that for yourself, and you have to do that for the person that you're dealing with. Everything I possibly can learn or I can do, I do. Definitely, and everyone should.
With Ms. Allen, there are at least three things that stand out for me. One, she had the role of a caregiver. She cared for her brother who had Parkinson's disease. She, like 35 million Americans, care for an adult. And the number one reason for caregivers in the United States is neurological disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Second is she got sick herself. So we should be very mindful that care partners, caregivers have their own health needs and their own personal needs. And sometimes by their mere act of caring for people, they might even be at higher risk for becoming sick themselves. And then third, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease herself. So care partners, just because you have a brother or sister with Parkinson's disease, doesn't mean that you yourself aren't at risk. And in fact, you might be a little bit higher risk because of one, shared genetics, and two, shared environmental factors. And so we need to be mindful that all of us need to be thinking about ways to prevent people from ever getting Parkinson's disease in the first place, because just because we have a friend or family member with the disease doesn't mean that we're immune ourselves.